Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've been unemployed for about a week now, and my life has already started to feel a little different. When I was working in the office, my days were always busy. There was always something to finish, somewhere to go, or something to worry about. Because of that, I often didn't have enough time to visit the people I love. So today, I decided to slow down and spend the day with someone very special to me, my aunt. She is 62 years old. She is a simple, gentle, and hardworking woman. She makes traditional rice wine, grows vegetables, raises chickens, and takes care of her home every day. Whenever my family has something difficult to do, she is always one of the first people to come and help us. Today, I came to visit her, and I found her busy making a new batch of rice wine. So instead of just stopping by for a short visit, I decided to stay and help her for the day. Come with me, and I'll show you a little part of my aunt's simple life in rural Vietnam. When I arrived, my aunt was preparing a new batch of rice wine. First, she takes freshly cooked sticky rice and lets it cool down. Then she adds the fermentation starter and mixes it carefully. The pot of cooked rice is steaming, and a gentle, sweet aroma fills the kitchen. My aunt cooks the rice in a heavy cast iron pot over a wood fire, and it becomes wonderfully soft, sticky, and fragrant. The steam is so hot that I can barely get close to the pot. I help my aunt scoop the cooked rice out and spread it onto a large tray so it can cool down quickly.
Nấu thì nó nhanh chùa. Nấu thì thôi.
After that, the rice is put into these buckets and left to ferment for several days. While this new batch is fermenting, my aunt is also distilling another batch that has already finished fermenting. Her rice wine is made using a traditional wood-fired stove. She keeps large piles of firewood beside the house and uses them to keep the stove going. This simple method also helps her keep the cost of making the wine low. My aunt keeps huge piles of firewood beside her house. She collects and stores enough wood to keep the stove burning throughout the year. The piles are stacked so high that every time she needs more wood, she has to climb up a wooden ladder to reach it. From the ground, it looks surprisingly high, and honestly, it makes me a little nervous watching her climb up there. But for my aunt, this is simply part of her everyday life. She doesn't have a modern kitchen with everything at the push of a button. She uses what she has, works with her hands, and prepares everything herself. There are so many little chores involved in my aunt's traditional winemaking process that I don't even know the exact names for all of them. What do you think she is doing right here? This is the old copper lid she uses on the pot. It has been with her for many years.
Lại quay cái đồ bát vào không?
Nowadays, many people have switched to electric equipment because it is faster and easier to control. But my aunt still prefers the wood fire. She believes it gives her rice wine its own character, and her experience allows her to control the heat very carefully.
Rồi, con múc đi.
Now my aunt and I are working together to carry the heavy buckets of fermented rice mash and pour them into the large distilling pot. She carefully cooked and fermented this batch a few days ago. You can almost smell the rich traditional aroma of the yeast filling the air.
Có phải đắp cám.
The fire cannot be too strong. It cannot be too weak either. She has to watch it patiently and make small adjustments along the way. This is something that comes from years of experience. Watching her work, I realize that making rice wine is not simply about putting ingredients into a pot. It is a skill she has learned and practiced for many years.
Nhiều người khiếp cái cú đấy, nhiều người bảo là
The distillation process takes time, so while we wait, my aunt continues with her everyday work. My aunt keeps a small flock of chickens for eggs and for meat.
nó ốm ấy.
Some of them don't seem to be feeling very well, so she has gone to get some medicine for them.
đi xe máy em bảo vậy thì đi ô tô hay là đi xe máy nó bảo nó đẹp xe máy nó bảo
Before she left, my aunt quickly swept the yard and took care of a few things around the house.
cá ngoài biển ấy, đánh cá ngoài biển cơ. Ui giời, còn nó đẩy lên thì quá rồi nó khơi ra trong này của cô.
These small chores may look ordinary, but they are part of her everyday life. While she's away, I stay here and watch the rice wine for her. My job is to keep the fire burning at a steady heat. It sounds simple, but it's actually harder than I expected. The fire can't be too strong and it can't be too weak. I have to keep watching it and adjust the wood little by little. And sitting so close to this wood stove is incredibly hot. After only a short while, I could already feel the heat on my face. Now I understand a little better how much patience and effort my aunt puts into every batch of rice wine. When you finally taste a good bottle of rice wine, you might never imagine how much work went into making it. In Vietnam, a liter of this traditional wood-fired white rice wine sells for about $1.20. Every day, my aunt works tirelessly by the fire to distill about 20 liters. After deducting the cost for ingredients, her actual profit is only around $8 a day. It is a very modest income for such hard physical work, but she always finds joy and peace in this lifelong craft. First, she goes to feed the chickens and take care of a few things around the house. Then we head out into the garden together. We pull weeds, pick vegetables, and talk as we work. My aunt has a very simple routine. She works a little every day and somehow everything gets done.
Bây giờ cho vừa mà cho hai khúc to đấy vào rồi.
Khúc to nó có cháy không?
Có gì?
Tôi đi vào.
There is something very calming about working beside her. There are no emails, no office meetings, no deadlines, just the garden, the chickens, the fresh air, and the work in front of us. She knows exactly which vegetables are ready to pick and which ones need more time. She has spent so many years working with the land that these things seem completely natural to her. I also enjoy seeing how much she can grow from this small garden. She raises chickens, grows vegetables, and makes use of many of the things she already has around her home. It is a simple way of life, but it requires a lot of patience and hard work. And somehow, every time I spend a few hours here with her, I feel more relaxed. By the time I was ready to leave, my aunt had already prepared something for me to take home. She picked a big bundle of fresh vegetables from her garden, and then, just like she always does, she also prepared chicken for my family. I never asked her for any of these things. She simply wanted me to take something home. This is what my aunt is like. Every time I visit, she somehow finds something to give me. It is never anything expensive, just a chicken from her yard, a bundle of vegetables from her garden, or something small from her kitchen. But somehow, these simple gifts always mean a lot to me. On the way home, I kept thinking about how busy I used to be. When I had my office job, I always felt that there was never enough time. But after losing my job, I have started to see life a little differently. Maybe I didn't need a busier life. Maybe I just needed more time to notice the people and the simple things that had always been around me. Today, my aunt reminded me of that. Life doesn't always have to be exciting to be meaningful. Sometimes a quiet afternoon, a little work in the garden, and the kindness of someone you love can be enough. Thank you for spending the day with me and my aunt.